day, and welcome to the eve of our release. Tomorrow morning, sometime during the day, Slytherin will be releasing Campaign Series Vietnam 1948 to 1967. We are all very excited. Good evening, Bess. Thank you for joining. I hope you can hear me well. Tonight we are going to continue with the Operation Starlite scenario and finish that off, hopefully. We are doing this in the final release version. Did you know that you can escape? So if you click on this but you wanted to go back to the previous menu, you can just hit the escape button and it'll take you back. Very handy. We're going to resume a saved game. We're going to slide down to the first battle, Operation Starlite, and hit play scenario. Alright, so we have 16 turns left by the looks of it. And let's do a brief overview of what's going on here. So the scenario started off with us in helicopters and in landing craft, where we had to pick a landing zone, either landing zone red, landing zone white, landing zone blue, or all three actually. Perform some landings with the helicopters and then make our way into this area, clearing and finding any Viet Cong and destroying them as we went along. Earlier in the previous episodes, we did have a large battle here in Nam Yen, where we had to clear out a bunch of bunkers, clear out a bunch of Viet Cong, in order to capture this area here. Up in the north, after we've secured that, we are working our way up the hill here, and hopefully we'll be able to secure this before too long. Looks like the Viet Cong are abandoning their trenches to consolidate in Nam Yen 2. Welcome, John. Thank you for coming. Good to see you. Additionally, up north, we were surrounded at, we were not surrounded, we were surrounding Vantong 5 with this Marine company, but we decided to hold off because it's fortified with quite a few units in there. So we decided to bring up our tanks, which include a platoon of Pattons and a platoon of flamethrowers with some additional infantry. We've brought some Marines to go into the rear, and we'll start the assaulting process. We have a machine gun team up in a bunker up here by Vantong 4. We know this is occupied from previous turns, so we're just hanging on there and holding back, waiting to see what happens. Otherwise, we will start going and taking over the rest of these objectives as time happens, and we'll see how things go. Again, we have time. We'll just do this methodically. We're not in a huge rush. Oh yeah, we were able to bring in some supplies. We were tasked with bringing supplies to this particular landing zone area, and in doing so, we were awarded with additional supplies for both our artillery ammo and our regular ammo. You'll notice that in most scenarios, this will be reduced by 1 or 2 every turn after combat has been initiated. This is a way to reflect the ammo usage during a conflict. Sometimes you'll be able to replenish it, sometimes you won't. It'll completely depend on the scenario. We have our mortars down here. We have some armored APCs. And out here we have our transports with landing zones and we are waiting for reinforcements. We have a couple of destroyers out here that'll help provide some fire support, and we are currently out of airstrikes. Hopefully they'll return. Good day and welcome, Berto. Thank you for joining. And that's pretty much it. So, now that our reinforcements here have arrived, we will probably wait until next turn before we start doing any committed to actions here. Good day and welcome, bottom of the 6th. Thank you for joining. We're all going to see how poorly I do. How exciting. We're going to land these helicopters if we can, since they're still flying. Can we land there? Why can't we land there? Ah, there's no landing zone. That's a good reason. It says down at the bottom what the reason is why you can't land. So we'll just move over here and land. Now we're landed. All 3 of these helicopters will refuel, since there's a headquarters there. You can land in any landing zone that has a supply unit or a headquarters to be resupplied. It does take 2 full turns, although on the next turn you'll have 50 action points to start your flight if you wish. We do have reinforcements still, but they haven't been triggered yet, so we'll just hang on to those. We do have some machine guns and whatnot back in these back points. Let's just take the opportunity to dig in. We'll do that by pressing this shovel button, the digging in button, as well as, or Control D. There's another one here. We'll do the same thing. And finally there's one here, and we'll do the same thing. This is just protecting our rear. We're not expecting anything, but let's better safe than sorry, right? That's the idea. We can just leave that helicopter there on the ground with the supplies. We have a headquarters there. We could move that. It will, now that I've moved that headquarters, it will become unavailable to supply the subordinate units until 2 turns. Next turn it'll be out, and potentially the turn after we will be able to collect supplies from that particular battalion headquarters. Down at Hill 43, we also have some low strength units that are just protecting the gains that we've taken. Unfortunately, we've taken quite a few losses. Let's take a look at our losses. Or do we want to look at our losses? No, probably not. Yeah. So we've lost too many. Ouch. A lot of machine guns. A lot of Marine platoon squads. A couple of mortars. And some Amtraks. We see that we've killed a lot of the Viet Cong, which is great. At least 1 strength point worth. This one is 2. This is probably the rifle platoons. But we don't know what they are precisely due to our fog of war settings. So again, the game comes out tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow. Probably by noon my time, Pacific. You'll be able to find it at the Matrix Games website. Do a search for Vietnam or campaign series and you'll find the page for it. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see it in the link below. Bottom of the 6th is asking if an aircraft has landed on the ground to refuel and the enemy is near. Can the enemy fire on the aircraft with mortar attacks and RPGs? Yes, they can. Not only that, if you decide to keep a helicopter stationary in a particular hex, even if it's flying, it can be targeted with artillery. Totally legit. Absolutely. Yeah. So if these helicopters on the ground, these can be assaulted, they can be shot at, they can be attacked, they can be hit with artillery, whatever you want. That's why you usually don't keep your helicopters in a combat area. You get them in, you get them out, and you keep them moving around. Me, I'm feeling confident about. I don't think there's going to be any more Viet Cong in this area, and the main reason why I brought these helicopters here is that since these transports out here have landing zones, I'll be able to ferry troops back and forth when they come instead of using these landing craft. I might have to, but I'll try and use these helicopters to go back and forth between the ships and the land, which would, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 7 turns of using these landing craft that I don't have to worry about. I can send my helicopters out, pick up a bunch, and bring them back in 2 or 3 turns. Far more efficient than using the landing craft. That's the idea anyways. Whether it works or not, we'll have to see. Okay, I think we're gonna hold off here. Yes, for sure. That's done intentionally. If those bottom of the 6 has nice workaround. So yeah, it is. It's a great workaround. It saves time. But if these transports didn't have that landing zone, I couldn't do it. But as a nice convenience and as the scenario designer, I decided to add some landing zones out there. I think that's it. Everyone is doing what they need to do. Do we have any artillery left? Not really. Do we have any airstrikes? No, we don't. We have airstrikes, but we don't have any air power. So, with the new close air support dialogue and model, how it works is that this will be your pool of aircraft for this scenario. But in order to use them, you need to have 1, 2, or 3 air power for the turn. If you do have 1, 2, or 3 air power for the turn, what you can do is you can select it and then choose your target hex that you want the airstrike to happen. Obviously, you don't want to be hitting my own units, but yeah. For additional information, you can just double click and see what these particular aircraft are carrying for ordnance. In this case, it's rockets, but most of the aircraft will be either guns, rockets, bombs, napalm, or bombs too, which means that they're dropping their bombs at a higher level. Usually high flying as opposed to low flying in the low flight zone. So there's quite a variety of different types of weapons that you can use the aircraft for. So that way you have the option of, okay, in this particular area I want to use bombs or napalm if you have them, or just rockets. If they're out in the open, rockets is fine, but if they're in a trench or if they're in a bunker, maybe you want to use bombs instead. Okay, let's end the turn. I'm going to save it, end the turn, see what happens. Mortars against our platoons and one of our tanks got disabled. That is unfortunate. Our Marine got reduced by 2 because we're heavily engaged here. We're in terrible terrain. We're down slope, getting shot at. It's not a good position to be in. That sniper still is hidden, taking some shots at our platoon. Fortunately, they missed. And our machine gun here is in some bunkers, so we should be okay with a direct fire, as long as they don't assault us. Probably civilians moving around. Multi-strike. John is asking, explain multi-strike aircraft, and what does that mean? Multi-strike aircraft is, when implemented, an airstrike that will come in where you plot it once, and it'll theoretically come in twice. So it'll come in the one turn, and then it'll do a loop, and then come again the next turn. At the same location. So, that didn't go as well as I hoped. We took some losses. We're disrupted. That's unfortunate. We do have our gunships here. They're still good for fuel. They're loaded with ammo. We have, let's see, what are they? They're hogs, and if I recall correctly, we have to be 2 hexes away in order to operate those effectively. So we're looking in the unit handbook, and this is the range. So you can see, out of the 6 hexes, the first hex is pretty much useless. So we want to be standing off at 2 hexes away, and that'll be the most power. Additionally, we want to be firing from, we can fire from the low, but if we go down to the nap of the earth, we will be a little more effective. Here, I'll show you the difference. So right now, in the low zone, I'm going to be looking, or just hovering my mouse over the target, and it's noticing it's going to be firing at 48. But if I take my helicopters and I drop down to nap of the earth, which I am in now, and I do the same thing, it increases the fire attack value to 63. So it's beneficial for me to be lower to the ground. The trade-off with being lower to the ground is that I'm more susceptible to ground fire. So rifle platoons can shoot at me. Anti-aircraft is more likely to shoot me down, even though I'm 2 hexes away. So trade-off. Do you want the more firepower, or do you want the safety? That's something that you have to decide. I'm going to move some troops closer and draw some fire so my helicopters can not be shot down. Fine, we found a tunnel. So we did take some casualties there, unfortunately. 2, a squad's worth. Unfortunately, that's too bad. But we did draw some fire, so let's shoot at that now. Unfortunately, we can only shoot once. Oh, they decided to shoot at the infantry instead. We'll drop these guys down and do the same thing. We don't know what kind of effect that have, if we took any casualties, or if they took any casualties or got disrupted because of the fog of war settings. Well, that's okay. Let's get a little closer. Continue to surround. We could try to assault. This is just going to be a straight up assault. If I wanted to assault this with better odds, one, I would try and do a flanking assault, and you would do that by attacking from multiple directions. A flanking assault means that I'm attacking from here and here, or I'm attacking from here and here. If I want to do a surrounding assault, then, and get the added bonuses for that, I want to use these 3 primary hexes and assault at the same time from all those hexes. That is a surrounding assault, and that is your best chance of getting in. The more you do it, you want to do that more often. Depending on what is being defended, you want to do that more often than not. The question is, in this, for example here, I'm in a position where I can't do that, so I just have to use what I have and do a direct assault into that hex. Am I going to get in there? No, probably not, but I'm just going to try. Let's try right now. So, no, it looks like I probably did cause some casualties. I don't know what those casualties are, but yeah, my flamethrowers there, unfortunately not good. So I'm going to move my helicopters back out of the way. And I see bottom of the 6 is asking, I know this may sound like putting the cart ahead of the mule since the game isn't released yet, however. Has there been any consideration on adding small icons to the air dialog box to easily distinguish if the aircraft ordnance is rockets, bombs, napalm, etc., instead of having to click? Yeah, that's a good idea for sure. Yeah, maybe that could be a wish list item. Great idea. Great thought. A little icon would be a good idea. I think the helicopters there are fine. We'll use our mortars on that hex. So, oh, darn it, I didn't want to direct fire, but too late. Okay. So again, this is a living game. We will be updating it. We will be adding to it. There will be DLCs in the future, especially covering the post or Tet and post Tet, all the way up to the invasion of North or Vietnam at that time by the Chinese in 1979. You'll see some DLCs covering the Laotian campaigns as well as the fighting in Cambodia. Lots of stuff coming. We just ran out of time for content in this particular situation. But there's 108 scenarios included in the game. There's lots and lots of content. Plus, of course, we include the full suite of editors that if you want to tinker on your own, you can totally do that. Now, I saw something back here before, but I think it was just the civilian, so I think we're okay. What are we doing here? So that's all we can do there for now. Let's take a meander around and see what else we can do. Yeah, it would make it a lot more user-friendly. You're right, bottom of the sixth. Having the icons with the aircraft dialogue. We're gonna send these two platoons up here. We know that there's infantry up there, so that's a half decent position, but we don't know if that's entrenched or not. We'll bring up some engineers. We won't overstack them yet, though. Get out of the way of that sniper or whatever that is in there. We have a machine gun. Let's do a couple of. We're doing blind fire, but we know that there's something in there, so let's just shoot at it. We'll do the same thing with our Ontos. Oh, bottom of the sixth. Whew, my English is terrible tonight. Sorry about that. Jason, how long had this game been on the drawing board since the idea was first thought of creating it? A long time ago, a gentleman by the name of George Grillo had created a mod for the original Pacific Rising Sun game for the John Tiller's campaign series. And we had an idea just to, use his modification and then, turn it into a game, right? This was, I don't even remember how long, 15 years ago-ish, something like that. But we decided, okay, no, let's move on to Middle East. Let's do something else because it would be too complicated. So 10 years ago, we started rebuilding. We thought, all right, we need to scrap it. We need to just rebuild it, do it from the beginning. And we started doing that, but then we realized, this is a massive, massive project. And the capabilities of the engine at that time were nowhere near what we could do for and use for Vietnam. So we thought, all right, let's do something a little bit easier. Let's work on Middle East. And hence why we released Middle East first. Because that was the stepping stone for us to get the engine closer to where we wanted it. We released Middle East in 2015, I think, if I recall correctly. And we updated that with 2.0 back in 2018 or 2019. But even then, we didn't get the engine to where we wanted it. And it took Berto and his brilliance in order to start tweaking things the way that Vietnam, the game, would feel like how combat would be in Vietnam. A lot of effort went into it. So much effort. Unbelievable amount of effort and testing. There was scenarios, we had scenarios built, ready to go, but the the engine wasn't there for them yet until recently, really, 2 years ago, where we've got the engine to where we want it. We got the scripting now to a point where it's just brilliant. Absolutely love it. But it takes time to rebuild. So again, we had to rebuild the scenarios, script the scenarios. So much time to do this, though. Yeah, I hope that helps answer your question a little bit. Sorry, I go rambling and lose track of what I'm doing. Did lose a patent, unfortunately, due to mortar fire. That's unfortunate. We have our flame tanks. We have more Marines and machine guns. I think what we'll start doing is we'll get a little bit closer and try and get into the key positions where we can assault this to the best of our abilities. At least flanking it first to get that bonus, and then surrounding it. We know there's Viet Cong here and here, so we'll have to deal with, hopefully get in here before we can get in here and here. It depends. So we'll continue surrounding and get ready to, yeah, just like that. There's a, at least we're drawing fire. Looks like another recoilless rifle. That explains why I lost that vehicle there. Okay, so let's bring in our infantry. And we're going to take some fire, unfortunately. And bring in these guys. That's probably an RPG up there. Fortunately, they're not hitting too badly. That might hit. Oh no, that's good. It really is a huge labor of love. Yeah, absolutely. We've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and years putting this together to make it the best tactical operational Vietnam War game that you'll find, at least at this scale. I'm gonna do a couple of shots. What can I see? So I have him selected. I'm gonna see what I can see. That's too bad. I can't see that recoilless rifle. So let's do a couple of shots in here. Again, I don't know what casualties I'm causing, if I am at all. And then we'll bring down our flame tank and use that in the assault. So I'm in a very vulnerable position here. I've surrounded this good position, but because I'm out in the paddies, I probably will take some losses. Hopefully I have enough there to get in there. I'm gonna plot all of my artillery, if it's within range. Destroyers, at least, they're within range. And we're gonna hope that they don't get recalled. Okay, and then we'll plot our other artillery up here, because we need to get into this position as well. Okay. Let's bring our engineers around. And our machine guns. I think that's it. Everyone here is happy, so you'll see that with that battalion HQ in there, it did refuel, so it's fully good to go. But the first turn after refueling, it only has 50 action points. It'll take next turn to be a full 100. And the same for these helicopters, and they're still waiting to get out here. Now, what you could do, which I don't recommend doing, you could go around, fly around, and see if you can find the VC. The problem with doing that is that these helicopters are worth a lot, and usually the Viet Cong will be gaining bonuses for every single helicopter that they shoot down. So while you may gain the advantage of being shot at, so you know where they are, if you start losing a lot of helicopters, your ability to gain a victory will be significantly reduced. I think we're done. So there's some civilians there. Let's just do a couple of pot shots into here. Doesn't matter what I select, I'm just shooting at whatever, because I think they're in bunkers as well, so I'm not going to hit them. Bottom of the 6th is saying, I have a history of playing war games with the volume off. Will playing this game with the volume off be a huge disadvantage? The reason I ask is I see you're guessing what type of weapons are firing at you, and you're basing those guesses on what you're hearing. Or are you also seeing something on the map that is giving it away? No, most of what I'm hearing, that's how I'm guessing what is there. Yeah, it's typically what I'm hearing. You don't have to, though, because if you're being shot at, you can kind of guess if you're going, depending on what it is. If it's it will eventually reveal itself, so you could just take the losses. Unfortunately, the sound helps, but you have to pay attention. One thing to keep in mind is that if there's like in this particular case, if there's a full company of Viet Cong, they're probably going to have some supporting weapons, which means they'll probably have an RPG too at this point in the war, and maybe a light machine gun or medium machine gun. So if you're seeing things that are shooting at you that you don't see, it's either going to be an RPG, or it's going to be a medium machine gun, light machine gun, or a sniper. If you never see it, it's probably a sniper. If you eventually see it, then it'll probably be an RPG or a machine gun of some site. These bigger weapons, like the recoilless rifles, you will see them pop up, like this one here did. Okay, we don't have any airstrikes yet. We do have reinforcements, though. I didn't see that coming. Oh, and they're in helicopters. That's awesome. Perfect. So there's some additional forces that we gained just like that, which means I need to move these guys out of the way so we have a place to land. So I'm lifting them off up into the low, and I'll send them back here to maybe even landing zone blue. So I don't have enough action points to land, but at least I've cleared this landing zone for these reinforcements. Note that reinforcements come on with 0 action points. That is by design. Alright, there we go. Good to go. Hopefully we don't lose another tank. It missed. That's good. We did. Yeah, we will take losses. It's expected. Hopefully the artillery there is okay, and our gunships will do what we... Oh, we lost a whole platoon. That's terrible. Ouch. Ah, and you see that? We were hitting the wrong hex. That's an... Oh, and then he ran away towards them with the sniper. How much of a pain is that? Alright. flamethrowing platoon. They survived. Most of our troops are retreating, though. John is asking, when you target a village, suburb, or city hex with artillery, what is the percentage chance it will be denied? Is that constant, or is it variable through the scenarios or years? That is a good question for Berto. Well, that destroyer hit. So that's good. Oh, and that destroyer hit us. And we lost one. One half squad. Now they've reinforced that hex. There's 2 platoons in there, which will make it even more difficult to dig out. At least our artillery is hitting that hex properly. Alright. Let's get these guys closer. At least they survived that time. And we'll take our flamethrowers and try and get around. Let's move this guy here. So we're getting into a position where we're able to assault, but that won't be for another turn. Let's move our machine guns around. So there is something there, but we're focused on this right now. So let's move a little closer and unload our rockets into that couple of platoons. Nope, not yet. I missed it as well. Okay, looks like we will try an assault. We're assaulting it from 2 directions, but it's still just a regular assault because we're not in position enough to do a flanking assault. With the 2 platoons in there, it will make it more difficult. So I'm going to do some more direct fire and see if I have any mortars to use. I have a couple. Let's do some firing. Maybe we'll get lucky. And that's all we have to shoot at, so let's resolve the assault. We're doing so by pressing the button over here or pressing Alt-V. So, on the bright side, using our engineers and the leader with a Marine platoon, we did cause more casualties based on the report that I saw, and well, we don't know what those casualties are. So we'll just rinse, repeat until that's done. Let's pull our helicopters back out of shooting range. Oh, look at that. They found a sniper. Let's pull out of the way. That's unfortunate. Let's bring these guys closer and do some shooting. So they might be an entrenched hex or something like that, so I don't know if we can even get them. Alright, there's that. So there was... I think they were in here. So let's... What do we do? We need to get in here. Can we get in here? Let's try that. Let's try that. No, I can't, but that's okay. Do I want to deal with that sniper? So we know that there's something in there because it's been shooting at us, and we suspect it's the sniper. So let's do a couple of shots in there if we can. So a shot. We only have one shot available. Let's do an assault. Ah, good. We got so in a bunker. Those buggers. Sniper in there. We finally took it out. So at least our flank here is protected. So next couple of turns, I'll try and get back up here to help with this assault. Let's bring this guy closer. Hopefully he doesn't take too many losses. So in order, the question before was, 1 second. When you target village, suburb, city with artillery, what is the percentage chance it will be denied? Is that constant or available through the scenarios or years? And Berto responded with, indirect denied probability is generally 5% per attempt, but 10% for the Americans and 0% for the NVA, VC, and Viet Minh. Airstrike denied probability is generally 15% per attempt, but 20% for the Americans and 0% for the NVA, VC, and Viet Minh. So, yeah, we have our hands tied behind our back sometimes, but it's not terrible. Like we saw last, we were able to hit Van Tung 5 without any issues, with the exception of causing some friendly fire. Unfortunately, we can't get in there with that platoon. Let's bring these tanks down. Get a little closer and do some firing. We'll do some more firing with this machine gun up here. Okay, now let's do an assault with our flame tanks and these two Marine platoons over here. Again, not the position that I want, but it is what it is. Oh, we were successful in eliminating one of the platoons. I don't know if you saw it disappear there. Wow, that's good. So let's continue our assault here. We'll plot some destroyers. We'll just plot them all. And then we'll send the rest of the artillery over on Nam Yan 2. I'm realizing now I don't think we have enough strength to actually take that. But we'll try. We'll keep trying. Okay, now let's grab our reinforcements. We have some mortars, machine guns, Marines. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let's go into a higher zoom mode. Fly towards beach. And drop down and unload. And the same here, we'll drop down and unload. I don't know if I can land everyone due to stacking limitations, but let's try. No. So I can land everyone, but I can't unload everyone. And I can't get them out of the way, so they'll have to unload next turn. Berto brings up a good point. In Vietnam, except in free fire zones, the U.S. typically needed to get air and arty strike prior approval from up to 4 different authorities. Military, but also political, like a province chief. That is the realities of this particular war. As bottom of the 6th is mentioning, hard to fight a war with all that red tape. Isn't that the truth? We're gonna move these guys up here if we can. And let's continue our wayward advance north. Let's do a shot and then an assault. And then we'll assault. And we got disrupted doing so. We tried. Throw our marine, or nope, never mind. Let's, we're gonna start going up the flank. And we'll try and surround and continue the assault. Maybe try and get in behind if we can. Alright. How's that looking? I think it's looking good. We're close. We caused some casualties. We took out one of their platoons. Maybe next turn we'll get lucky. The destroyers will do what they need to do, and we can take that out. Once this is taken out, we'll move up and take on Bantung 4. Alright. We shall end the turn. Yeah, there's some orders up there. Ah, we lost a machine gun. Lost an M60. And we took 2 losses. Ouch. Oh, we keep taking losses. That sucks. Now you can see things are being revealed. There's some supplies there. There's the RPG team that has been harassing us. Our LOS check is working better now. Just because we've been in the area and the die rolls are in our favor. We don't see the machine gun team though. Now there's all 3 platoons. Oh, there we go. Those aren't civilians. And that's in our rear. That's not good. Okay. The destroyer was allowed to fire. That's good. Hopefully we're causing some casualties to that platoon. Nope. 1 got denied. So, the hill at Nam Yen 2 got denied. We know that there's 3 platoons in there because 1 went in. And we don't have enough strength to get in. We can try. Let's try. We'll set up our assault. Nope. These flamethrowers are still out of action. We'll bring in our gunships. Let's do a couple of shots in there. If this assault doesn't work, I'm going to have to pull back. You can identify which units are included in the assault by this assault icon. Obviously not everyone is included because of disruptions or whatever. And let's try. So while we did cause some casualties, we did take 2 losses, unfortunately. So we're just going to pull our guys back. We're taking too many casualties to take this, and we'll have to bring in reinforcements. So let's start doing that. You know what? Let's haul these guys back and bring them over here to take this hill. Alright, that was a waste, unfortunately. Oh, right. I don't know if you guys saw, but there's something we have to be concerned about. There are some Viet Cong in our rear. So that's another reason to bring this company up, is because we have troops in our backside, unfortunately. So we're going to stop him digging in. We're going to do... no, we won't shoot. We'll let them get a little closer. We'll have higher firepower if they do. And if they get too close, we'll just pull away. Let's just take a look. What do we have around here? Nothing that is useful. Okay. Let's pull the machine gun back. And, oh my goodness. That's not what I wanted to do. Misclick by accident. And I took a full squad loss. Jeez. Okay. That's it for that. Now we can draw some fire. Try and take this position here. Let's wait. Let's try and get in here first. So I'm attacking with these 2 platoons, plus this platoon, which theoretically should be a flanking attack. I'm going to throw in my flame-throwing tanks because they have a very high assault value, 20. And maybe, using these combined arms plus a flanking attack, we can get into there. And we can. Isn't that the truth? Well, at least it's all a fire. Yeah. Okay, so we were successful in and that was only a trench. Ha! How terrible is that? Okay, now here's an issue. We're going to try and continue our assault. We're going to bring in this Marine platoon, use our flame-throwing tank, and I'm going to bring in this other Patton and see if we can get in there without getting killed. They didn't attack the tanks, which is good. They're attacking the infantry, which we're not going to use. Okay, there we go. So we have the Pattons, we have the flame tanks, and we have this rifle platoon, or Marine platoon. So let's see if we can get in there as well. And we cannot, but we did cause it casualties, so that's a bonus. This unit is disrupted, which means we can't move closer to the enemy, but we can skirt along the edges, so we'll go up north. That's all we can do there, except plot the artillery. We'll do the destroyers. We'll do one here and one here. Up here, we will bring in our engineer. He'll take some losses, or not. Yay! Then we'll come up on the flank. So that is a decent position. He's well protected to get in there. We will try and assault him, though, using our engineers. And with this last one, I will do a couple of shots in there, see if we can disrupt them. Or make them run away. Don't think anything happened, so let's just assault. No. So we'll have to wait until next turn to see if we can get in there. That blasted sniper finally revealed himself. That hill is not going to be easy, so the helicopter reinforcements will hopefully give us some support to get in there. Yeah, that's all we can do. It's a tough fight. It is a tough fight. Wow, we do have these infantry that we can bring down. All right. Too many losses. It varies depending on the scenario, John. The time limit for the scenarios. Or for each turn in the scenario. There's no set time. Oh. Well, everyone has different tastes, bottom of the sixth, regarding the size of a scenario. For me, this is still a small scenario because it's only a couple of battalions worth, but to many, this would be a medium-sized scenario. Our night turns longer. Yes, technically, they are longer. For example, in the a week-in scenarios, you have 40 day turns and 20 night turns. Destroyers are at least hitting the targets this time. That's good. Okay. Let's deal with this, then we'll deal with that. We will do that. And we'll throw in our fancy flame tanks again. We'll use a full strength platoon. And let's see if we can get in there this time. Yes. That is good. Again, only trenches. They were dug in, but not as hard as they could have been. Unfortunately, I can't assault that, and I can't drive into there because it's Paddy's. So it's stuck there until next turn. Let's turn it towards the enemy. We'll bring in our infantry and keep surrounding it. We could try and assault that, but I don't think we'll get in there. No, and with that we lost one of everything. So that was a mistake. Valuable lessons learned here. I still don't have airstrikes. Valuable lessons learned here. How not to do things. You're welcome. So destroyers will hit there. Hopefully we can cause some casualties and take it out. We do have a fairly decent force there to do it. Alright, now these guys that are suffering terribly. Let's see if we can draw some fire at least. Yeah, no kidding. But redo buttons aren't something that happens in war, unfortunately. Ah, jeez, look at that. Such a pain to get into. And I can't move closer with a disrupted unit, but I can bring my engineers closer. And I can bring these machine guns closer. Let's move these Marines up there. And let's continue pulling these guys back until we can get some more reinforcements. So our first attack was a fail. So be it. Can we take these guys out? Let's use our rockets on the snipers. And then let's do that assault. Nope, did not get in, but that's okay. They're really under strength. That's an under strength platoon, and that's a machine gun with an assault of 2. You can't expect to get in there with that, but you never know. Here's our bread and butter, though, to help take that hill. So we're going to land, unload, start our walk up there. What's this? Another machine gun. Unload. So with our... Oh, look at that. They want this position here. So I am going to do a shot. What do I want to shoot at? What do I want to shoot at? Do I want to shoot at a platoon, or do I want to shoot at this machine guns? I'll leave that up to you. You guys decide. What do I shoot at? I'm going to shoot and run, but I want to shoot at something first. MMG. Alright. Let's shoot at the machine guns. Don't know if we caused any... Okay, they missed. That's good. They missed twice. That's also good. And did we cause any... No, we didn't cause any casualties. But let's get out of dodge. So with some of these units, like these mortars and probably the machine guns, we will send them to block that BC company that's up there. But the infantry, we're gonna, or the Marines, we're gonna haul up to the hill. Chicken. No, I would have been assaulted and lost everything, John. Are there other did I lose all my helicopters already? Oh no, they were still... Alright, let's bring them over here as well. And get on the ground. I can't unload because it's overstacked. So one is still there. The other ones are not. Where's my commander? You know, that's a good question. I think I have him up here right now. Yeah, the 2nd Marine, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines is up here trying to take this hill. The headquarters is down here. There's the regimental headquarters over here. And there's another 3rd Battalion headquarters with the battalion headquarters down here. I should move them closer. You know what? I will do that. Let's bring some vehicles down and get them closer. Yeah, let's do that. Otherwise, we have our orders. Let's take on these snipers. Not that they're going to hit them, but why not? And plot our artillery on that hill. Even though we're not assaulting it, we still want to destroy it or cause casualties. And our Howtar, our Marine Howtar, we're going to plot in here because we know the Viet Cong are going to take that point. Hopefully we survive. Will we? I don't know. Okay, that's it. We are good to go. I'm gonna bring some more support down there. That machine gun is fine there. We have some machine guns here. We have our helicopters there. Bottom of the 6th is asking, how does this game handle a wounded in action or killed in action commander? He's just removed from play, and you get points for doing so. There is no wounded commander. Once you're dead, you're dead. Unfortunately. The commanders do help with, you know what? This commander is not even helping these 2 units. He'll help that platoon. He'll help this platoon. But yeah, you see, I should have looked carefully because he's not even helping. He should be up here. I put him in the wrong spot. Silly me. Too late now, though. At least he has that platoon. Alright. Bring this guy over here. Do a pot shot into Namyen 2. There we go. That's it for this turn. That engineer just likes running back and forth, back and forth. Oh, we took some more losses. And more losses. They're targeting the tank platoon now. The M48s, the Pattons. Is that what I call an independent commander? Yes, apparently he's off doing his own thing. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Yeah, the AI is very tough. Especially when it's dug in prepared positions. So they have taken Fulong 3. Now let's see if they decide to assault my lone machine gun. Civilians meandering around. Okay, they didn't assault, so we have a chance to escape. Our destroyers are targeting that hex. Unknown effects. At least everything has come in this time, that's good. Even on Namyen 2. So notice that we can't see anything anymore. And the rest of the shots aren't coming. That's too bad. Oh, that's good. We did hit that, we hit Fulong 3 once. Let's, double time these guys. We're pressing this button here to try and get further movement. In some cases I will get fatigued. In this case I didn't after I pressed the fatigue button, or the double time button. That will depend on the quality of the nation. And I got disrupted. That's unfortunate. So we're going to continue bringing up our reinforcements, our heavy weapons, to help stem the tide of that disaster. And these mortars, we will do the same. And the Marine Company, we'll send up the hill, and we will take Amiens too. So all these helicopters are on the ground. They are not being refueled. These helicopters, on the other hand, are low on fuel, so let's bring them over here. You can tell that they're low on fuel because it says 3. So safety first. I like bringing my helicopters close to a headquarters or supply unit to resupply. They're on the ground. They will do that next turn. Let's just confirm what these guys are in charge of. So everything highlighted in yellow, this commander and this headquarters is in control of. So unfortunately, me, being a terrible commander, has spread up my forces all over this particular area, which is unfortunate. Had I been playing smarter, I would have kept the companies closer together. So the best thing for me to do is to move them towards a more central location where they can provide better support. So let's also double time them and move them out here. We could move this other headquarters since it is also controlling units everywhere, but we'll just leave that there for now. We also have the regimental headquarters, which is providing supply to everyone as well, as you can see. So, and its location is not terrible. Maybe not so good for over here, but fine for up here. You can see the command range by selecting it and pressing this button here, and it'll tell you what the percentage is of a successful die roll for resupply or conserving ammo, removing the conserving ammo status. That's very handy. As you can see, the 50% range is here, so everyone that's in combat is still within that 50% range, which is fine for the regimental headquarters. Alright, back to this nonsense. We can't go near him, but we can continue moving around him. And here we will again try an assault with our Marines and our flame-throwing tanks, as well as our Pattons, and see if we can take this out. We are going uphill, we are going against a defended position, so we're rolling the die. We were not successful, but we did not lose, so that's good. Let's try it again. We have a couple of platoons there. We have some more platoons here. Basically similar assault as last time, just one more time. And that time we did cause a casualty, but we also took a casualty. And one of our Marine platoons took a casualty. On the far side of the screen, what are the numbers directly over the unit images telling you? On the far side of the screen, the unit, I'm not sure what you're talking about. On the far right side of the screen, what are the numbers directly over the unit? Oh, those are, yeah, I should turn those off. Those are track ID. So that's what this is here, show track ID. And that's something that I use for scenario design. It tells me which organization within the organization file that they're a part of. So here, in this case, this is platoon number 302 as part of company 301. And this is platoon 281 as part of company 278, and so on. So you'll see here, this is 421 of 421, which means it's a unit that's attached to the main organization, the Marine, the regiment. So if we go to the find org and we look up, for example, 301, we can identify 301 is this Marine company, E company, and 302 is this Marine platoon. Alternatively, we can select the unit and identify which parent or which group it belongs to. So 1st Platoon, E Marine Infantry Company, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, 7th Marine Infantry Regiment. I hope that makes some sense. It's a tool for me to help identify where it belongs to and who it belongs to when designing scenarios, which you can turn off, like this. Show track IDs. So now they're gone. Okay. That was a disaster. Let's move up again, take some fire. I'm gonna plop a smoke down. I'm doing that by hitting the fire button. I have the engineer selected, and I'm gonna press the smoke, and in the same hex, right click. So I've covered my troops with smoke, so hopefully they'll stop taking casualties there, at least for a bit, until I can organize an attack and bring up some additional reinforcements, like this platoon here. Let's see if we can take these guys from the bunker, drop down into this area. You can tell it's a lower elevation because it says 0 and these are 1. So I won't be able to see them and they won't be able to see me, which we can verify by pressing the visibility button. Right. So I can only see here and up on the hill over here where it says 2. So they can't see me, I can't see them. So I'm going to try and go around and see if I can attack these guys from the rear as well, since I have some additional reinforcements. If I can't get in there, I'll bring the tanks up after we deal with this area. So let's remove those. And we'll do another couple of shots, or another shot at Namyen 2, which probably has no effect, but doesn't hurt to try. And let's try and deal with the sniper here. Again, not expecting to kill it with the mortar, because it's probably in a bunker or something. Fortunately, it's not firing at us. So let's take the opportunity to surround it and destroy it. The helicopters are there. We have these guys up here still. Hopefully these extra heavy weapons will deal with that, and we're good to go. Unfortunately, shooting out of smoke is as effective as shooting into smoke. You can't see what you're targeting, so your attack values are reduced. RPG against our flame-throwing tanks, our Zippos. That's not good. Welcome back, John. So our machine gun hopefully is going to provide some extra support for the machine gun that is retreating. We don't... Yeah. One of our units are released. That's cool. So we have these guys. Let's deal with this first. We're going to retreat under some cover and move our way back here. Otherwise, we're going to bring up these mortars and prepare for the attack that's coming by the looks of it. Now, hopefully a barrage of M60s will deal a blow. I suspect these are armed as well. Yeah, they are. And let's start moving our full Marine company up and get ready to assault Amiens. So we're going to... This is surrounded now. We should be able to attack this and take it out. There we go. And it was in a bunker, hence it was so difficult to take out. Our commander will bring him closer to where he's more useful with these highlighted units, for example. We will plot artillery on Amiens. And let's move over to... let's move these guys up here. And that's as far as they're going to go. Our gunships, you see our gunship here has lost ammo, which means I have to fly back to the airfield, the primary airfield, in order to fix the issue. But we do have the other gunship. So that means that gunship is out of action for probably 3 or 4 turns. Probably 4 or 5 turns, actually, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Alright, where are we bringing this gunship? I think over here again. We'll drop it down, get it ready for next turn. We are now available to move up. So next turn. Oh no. Yeah, alright. That's too bad. Okay, let's do some assaulting. And try and get in there. So same procedure as before. We have two Marine platoons and the armor platoons to see if we can get in. We did not. So let's try it one more time. And we destroyed a supply cache and gained some extra points. That's great. But we didn't get in. So we'll continue. Good day and welcome, PokeTrev. The pricing, no, not yet. I first guess would be something similar to what Middle East is, but I have no idea what Slytherin plans to do with their pricing. We're still going to continue flanking this. I'm going to lay another smoke using the engineer. And that'll get us into a decent position. So hopefully we can deal with this. Bring these guys up to deal with the units that are in here in Banjong 1. Next turn, hopefully we can push into here. We'll use our destroyers and cause some casualties there. And then Banjong 4 is our next target after these are dealt with. It will be tedious to get through because these are all just trails, so it'll take a couple of turns to get to the open terrain for the tanks. There is a road though, so once we deal with this, we can use the road with the tanks. They will move quickly to finally take Foxhuan. PokeTrev says, definitely picking this up. I can tell right off the bat that this is deep game with a lot of thought put into it. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And don't base your opinion of the game based on my terrible gameplay, because it is horrible today. Oh my goodness. I would do this differently next time. That's the advantage though of this particular game, is that you can play these scenarios over and over again, and it's going to be a relatively different experience every time you play, which is fun. I think that's fun. I think that's crazy, and that's why I've been playing this game for such a long time. This machine gun, he's still okay. He's in a bunker still, and we know the VC are in there, but he's safe unless they assault. I think we're okay for this turn. These guys are still surrounding Namyen 2. Our new marine company is on the way up. We have these Vietcong threatening our rear, but I think we're in a position where we're protected, so that's okay. Signed limited edition copies going only for $2,000. Well, $1,099.9. There you go. You see? It's a deal. It's a steal of the century. But it's cash only. Or gold. I accept gold as well. Okay. We're going to end the turn. Hopefully we don't lose. We lost another patent. That mortar. Unbelievable. Two of them! Two of them! Oh! That hurts my feelings. My last one. So at this rate, we're not going to finish this scenario today. I will play on for another 30 minutes. We'll see how far we get. I'd like to take out the Van Tongues, if possible, in that 30 minutes, but the way things are going, it's a tough fight. And just like that, we see the Vietcong in our rear. They have come down. So our machine guns need to be on point. That's only one of the platoons. There they are there. Just like that. Poof. Oh, sugar. You have to think, it's not a matter of killing the patent, it's disabling it. The mortar round took out the gun, or the mortar round took out a track, or the mortar round injured the crew. There's a lot of different reasons why a mortar can, quote-unquote, take out a tank. Hopefully our destroyers do some proper work here. Oh, never mind. Ah, they got denied. Okay, let's go all in now and see what happens. No. Oh, but that's a proper surround now. So let's try this. There we go. That's what we wanted to see before. So we lost a few tanks to do it. But yeah, that's okay. Now, that's our next target right there. Let's push our tanks down these tracks and get closer. And start hauling our infantry along the same path. So it'll take a couple of turns to get up there, but at least we finally cleared that. Wow, that is such a... That was a pain. That was a pain. We'll use these guys to draw some fire. Hopefully not die. Disrupted is okay. We have a lot of troops here, so let's try and assault that. So they did take some casualties, but not enough because they're still sitting there. So we have one more smoke. Let's use that smoke. Keep these guys covered for their next assault. And our Marines over here are getting close and personal. Let's get into a position where we can move up and let's see. Who do you belong to? So we'll move our flamethrowers with them and these machine guns. And that's fine. Those guys are all okay. We'll move these guys up. And we'll move. I think those guys are fine there. These guys are fine here. We can now use our Ontos to shoot at these platoons. And our gunships as well. Let's grab our gunships, move a little closer to within 2 hexes, and target something. And get shot at. Oh, okay, the engineer retreated. That's fine. Let's pull our gunships back. That reminds me, my other gunship, we need to go into the high mode and fly back to the airfield. Figure out where our headquarters is, which I think is right there. So next turn we need to land there, and that will remove our low on ammo for the gunship. Oh yes, we need to deal with this. So we did cause some casualties. You can see that this has been reduced by 2. This is still a full strength Viet Cong platoon. This machine gun is still full strength, but we are in a position where we can take that couple of shots at it anyways. Perfect. So we retreated it. Let's focus our fire on the Viet Cong platoons. No joy there. Let's use our mortars first. Oh, I can't fire from a jungle, which means I have to move into this victory point location and fire from there. So, American units can't fire from forested jungles or light jungle or heavy jungle. Viet Cong can fire from those positions, just an FYI. So fortunately our mortar did take some good losses on those Viet Cong platoons, so let's continue attacking. That was good. I see if we what kind of losses we did. We did a lot of losses. We took out 3 strength points from 1 shot from our M60 because it's a range 1, which makes sense. So let's do the same for the other one. Did we do this? No, we didn't. Didn't do the same, unfortunately. So let's target the other one again. Nope, we didn't. So let's do it again. Still strength 4. We did take it down 1. It is now 3. And we'll use our vehicles over here to try and cause more casualties and or disruptions. Okay, so we've reduced them significantly, which means our position here is fairly secure. Next turn I can take this machine gun and go back and take out Fulong 3. These guys should be focused on trying to take Nam Yen 1 or running away, depending on their losses. Over here, we are still waiting, but we can plot our artillery. Let's use our destroyers on Nam Yen 2. Our Marines are getting closer. We want to start taking this out as hard as we can. All right, there's that. The mortars. And let's throw in the Howtar there too as well. Okay, that is that. Up here, we've done everything. We've assaulted, we've captured Vantung 5. We are moving up and trying securing Vantung 1. We will take 4. And I think that's all. Question from bottom of the 6th. Is there a scenario editor available with the game for owners to be able to create their own scenarios, or will one be released at a later date? No, it comes with a full suite of editors. It comes with an organizational editor, it comes with a map editor, and it comes with a scenario editor. Not only that, we include a whole bunch of master maps for you to use that are, yeah, you can just chop them up however you want them for your map or for your scenario. Okay. I did not end the turn yet because I see that I have all my action points burned. So we will do that. Oh, they assaulted. Did you see that? They assaulted twice. We took a lot of losses there. Holy crap. We reduced them significantly, and they still had the gall to attack us. That is insane. Idea for a future stream for you how to create your own custom scenarios. Yeah, I will probably do those as YouTube videos, just so I have more control over how things are going on and how I can build things. But yeah, you will find those definitely on YouTube. Of course, they got denied. That's too bad. So now I am threatened in the rear because my machine guns here took a nasty toll with a terrible morale check. And everything is low on ammo. So, except this guy. That was crazy. Okay, so these platoons are down to 1 gun each. I'm gonna bring this infantry platoon down just for safety. There's still that machine gun there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna be able to do with that. We do have these platoons, but I can't get up there yet. Okay, who is this guy commanding? Everyone but him, so let's move him here. We'll move them there. So we have 1 smoke left. What we'll do next turn, if my mortars are available, we're going to smoke that hex and then get right up to it and see if we can start assaulting it. We're running out of time, unfortunately. So let's use our gunships, have a shot, pull them back, use our Ontos, use the recoilless rifles, see if we can take that thing out, or at least cause casualties. We will go over to the airfield and drop this helicopter down. So I'm going into the low flight zone, moving one to the airfield, and then dropping down to the ground. And you'll see as soon as I did that, with its parent headquarters, the icon disappeared. So now it's fully loaded up again. Perfect. Back to this mess. Let's bring our infantry a little closer. And our armored vehicles. Let's move these guys closer as well. Okay. I think that's it for that area. So we'll pull into the bunker with the infantry, soak up some fire, and then start surrounding for the following turn. Up here, we're going to continue to encircle and see about assaulting. We caused some casualties, but again, we burned through too many action points to reduce or to assault again. So let's pull some of these troops back just to reduce our overall count. 5, 9, 11, 13. So let's pull that other engineer out. You need to be 12, otherwise you're going to be overstacked, and we don't want to be overstacked because there's penalties against that. Huh. What a mess. What a mess. Okay. What do you think? I can't believe that they assaulted and took out so many machine guns. That's a big fire truck. That's what that is. Okay. Ready? Let's go. Hopefully we can... They're probably in an entrenched position, so that'll be difficult for me to cause casualties against them unless I'm getting in there. Ouch. They're all about assaulting those guys. If we got lucky, they disrupted themselves in their assault. We have 3 aircraft that are low on fuel at 7067. Oh, where is 7067? Let's use our trusty hotkey. 70 67. Oh no. Look at that. I totally forgot about them. And they're down to, they're disrupted, they're low on fuel. They're having a bad day. Now, the question is, can I get them back to headquarters? Yes. And then we can land. Absolutely nothing left. That was close. You see, it was a good thing I had the warning. Just as a reminder, the command report tells you 3 aloft aircraft units are low on fuel. So I probably breezed through that before because it should have told me a couple of turns ago, which I probably just was so excited to do some fighting that I ignored, which don't ignore, because if I would have lost them, there was no way that I could recover them except with a headquarters or a supply unit. And depending on the nature of the terrain or the situation on the ground, they might have been lost for the rest of the scenario. Again, don't do as I do. Yay for lessons. Lessons learned. Things you have to think about when you're playing this. Okay, so as I said, we're going to hop in here and draw some fire. And that's a good place to draw fire. So that's fine. We'll do a shot just because. See if we can get any more. Okay. That being the case, so notice there's civilians in there. We're going to start surrounding this hex for a final assault. Okay, so yeah, no, I don't have enough action points to get into there, but we may lose some folks out here just because the tanks will draw fire, and this is the only protected position, this bunker, so hope for the best. I will take the opportunity to plot some destroyer fire on that town, because I don't think it's taking any casualties yet. All we can do is hope that they don't get denied. Bottom of the 6 says, these free lessons are priceless. Yes, they are. They're good for a chuckle, that's for sure. Here we are, coming in the rear. So we know there's a mortar in there. We know that there's a rifle platoon in there. We're in the village, so that helps protect us a little bit. Let's get this guy in the same village. Okay. Bring this guy over, draw some fire. And then pull all these guys. Oh, they don't have enough to assault. That's unfortunate. Let's try again anyways. Oh, we got lucky. Nice. Oh, you see how hard of a position that was? It was a bunker. Sheesh. Can APCs, tanks, etc. throw a track or have random mechanical breakdowns? Not at this point. That might be something for East Front 3, though, because that was a prevalent problem. But imagine what John would say. I mean, he was already complaining about our mortars being attacked, or attacking tanks. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's see. So, let's use our mortar, fire our very last smoke onto Nam Yen 2, which will come next turn, and then we'll start our assault. In the meantime, let's do some more shooting. Again, we know that they're there. They are just out of our line of sight due to their fortifications and because they're in a village on a hill. Okay. Now, we have this issue to deal with. Did these guys? No, they did not. These guys are all capable of firing, though, so let's see. We have a squad left of Viet Cong, and we have one medium machine gun left. Let's see if we can kill them. We took out half the squad. Let's try it again. And we took out the rest of the squad. And let's shoot at this machine gun. We did not get lucky. Okay, there we go. That dealt with our threat in the rear, which is good. Now we can worry about taking Fulong 3 back. And with that done, we'll go up and take Fulong 2 out, because we need to still take the rest of these objectives. The key one, though, are going to be the Van Tung ones, because if you remember from the briefing, which we can review, the primary objectives are the villages of Van Tung and Nam Yen, which is the collection of villages. So everything with a Nam Yen number Those are the primary ones that we have to take out. The rest are good to take out, but not primary. Hence my focus on trying to take these before the end of the scenario. I think that's... Oh, no, we can plot some artillery. The problem with me plotting artillery now over here is that it's all going to land in the smoke, which means it's not very useful. Okay, there we go. Let us continue. Mortars, hopefully they don't take out our pattern, which they didn't. Yay for small miracles. Okay, that's good. Shooting in there is fine, because that's where that bunker is. Civilians meandering around, that's fine too. So, 2 of our units have recovered morale, which is great. The 2 machine guns that had that encounter with the Vietcong in the rear. 4 headquarters are unable to provide supply. 3 artillery units are unavailable, and 5 units are low on ammo. On the bright side, the destroyer was able to... Oh, spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. At least our smoke came in, so that's good. We can start surrounding that hex to assault it. With this cover of smoke, we should be able to get there with very few casualties, but next turn we will take casualties. Alright, let's get up there. So they're firing at a reduced effect because they're firing in from smoke. Just like me firing into that hex would be at a reduced effect because they're in smoke. But we're not worried about that. We're worried about getting all the way around. Disrupted is fine. We're okay with that. And we're just going to surround it as much as we can. And try and isolate it so we can't get there, but that's what we'll have to deal with. I'll save that gunship for next turn. Since it's smoked, there's no sense firing into it. We should have had that marine platoon up there, but we don't. These guys are gonna go back there just in case. Let's go take this back. And then we'll start him trekking up to that point up there. Oh, maybe we'll send another platoon too, just for safety. You know what? Let's do that. And we'll send it by helicopter up to landing zone red. That way it'll save walking all the way up there. We'll save those shots. Now, Vantung 4. Let's bring in, draw some fire. So we are in a position to do a flanking assault. So let's try that. And we'll use all these. Fingers and toes crossed. Oh, no. Ugh. So, again, don't do that. That was terrible. I lost my patent. I took a reduction and a disruption on my Zippos, and yeah, that was a rough assault. That's what that was. Let's put this guy in the village, at least give him some cover. There are civilians in there, which is not so good. But what do you do? Alright, let's hit that again. with our destroyers. Ouch. We can move these guys in. So there's a full platoon there probably, as well as the mortars. Let's try and see if we can assault it from it being surrounded. And see what happens. Oh, there we go. Finally, something went our way without causing a lot of casualties. And we'll hang on to that position there. And what are we going to do? We're going to take that. We're going to take that. Let's send our tracked vehicle up here. Let's not do that, because we just got eliminated. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't recon by armored vehicle. Okay, so that will be it for today, because we're at the 2-hour mark, pretty much. Any questions besides the terrible tactics that I'm using? Don't forget, we are releasing this tomorrow morning. It will be available through matrixgames.com. You can find the product page by searching for Campaign Series or Vietnam. Keep an eye on the forums for additional goodies. You'll want to grab everything that we're offering. And I will be posting this later tonight on YouTube for those that missed the Twitch. You're most welcome, John. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Bottom of the Sixth. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone else, for showing up and watching me play and experiencing the capabilities and frustrations and enjoyment with Campaign Series Vietnam. Count on future DLCs and expansions as we have time to release them. There are quite a few planned, and also additional games, including East Front 2, East Front 3, West Front 2, and Pacific Front. You will see Cold War, as well as the continuation of the Vietnam War. Lots on the go. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Have a good evening. Keep that smile on. And until next Saturday. I'm playing again on Saturday. Good night.